Well, when you talk about transfer of responsibilities, there's two different aspects to that. The first aspect is it's an FDA requirement that you have to fill out a transfer of obligations. That's a QA requirement. Now, a QA requirement. That being said, I think what's critically important is that you look at a transfer of responsibilities pragmatically as well, and how do you actually execute that, right? With training. How do you execute that with alignment meetings, with kickoff meetings, to make sure that face-to-face, everyone is absolutely clear about what the roles and responsibilities are. I'm a big fan of RACI, right? I'm a big fan of documenting in a RACI format every inch of everything, right? To me, that is the best form of communication where people know exactly what they're accountable for. But finally, and critically important, after you've come to that realization of we know exactly who's going to be doing what, when, how, then that needs to go in your contract. And that is a roles and responsibility matrix that's way more detailed than just your traditional FDA transfer of obligations form, although that's important too. But once you have that, now you can deal with, let's really budget this thing based upon those roles and responsibilities.
Well, let me give you the primary reason. First of all, it's a requirement based on Code of Federal Regulations. I think it's 312.53 that requires that any obligations that you're transferring to a CRO needs to be in writing. And it should be clearly and concisely defined, so that way we don't end up with people saying, well, I thought you were doing that, I thought you were doing that. So that is the requirement. And I think it's also important for that piece of information to be embedded in your plans. So if we are responsible for certain components that were transferred from the sponsor to the CRO, we want to make sure that we're meeting those requirements. So we build those requirements into the plan. It might be a monitoring plan, it might be a medical monitoring plan, a safety plan, whatever. So that's also important.